for next year, I need to figure out the Spanish phrase for "we sell vibes," because really, that I feel like that kind of almost summed it up, because we have something just going on that is you cannot quantify it, you can't put a finger on it. But
I mean, everybody that came by was like, "You all just look like fun. This looks like just fun." Like, yes, that's what we do. We're celebrating something. I don't know what we're celebrating.
Louis Vuitton guy.
Oh, Louis Vuitton guy came by. Okay.
Amazing.
Is this kind of throw a party or what?
Hello, AV friends, and welcome to an episode of EDTech. So, of course, this looks like a little bit different than our typical episode, because this time of year we bring you a recording from the ISE show floor, and it's a bit loud and boisterous still, because in the HETMA booth we tend to be a little crazy. And of course, this is recorded right now during our happy hour on this closing Friday. But so with me today, I have Troy Powers from Northwestern University.
Hi, how's it going? Troy Powers, Northwestern University, also the vice chair at HETMA. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And also BC Hatchett.
What's happening, Aaron? It's BC Hatchett. I'm the director of classroom technology for Vanderbilt University, also the co-founder of HETMA. And please excuse my day 4 trade show voice. It's hanging on for dear life at the moment.
Yeah, no, at least it's audible. So this is probably one of the better last days of a conference that I've had, and I'm not sure what exactly the difference is that makes me have a voice now, as opposed to anybody who sees me on a Friday at an infocom is like, don't talk because it hurts to listen to you.
It's AV Roki. AV Roki is what makes me lose my voice every year.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I can see it. Yeah,
absolutely could see that. So of course, let's start off with the event at hand. We are at ISE. So what are your thoughts about this year, Troy?
I think it's been a wonderful show. It all kind of came together last minute. We had the other booth at the EdTech Congress all set up, and then just kind of the last month or so, we decided, hey, let's buy a booth spot, have another booth. And that sounded crazy.
No, let's do something crazy.
Let's do something near never.
Yeah. So, but it really went well. We had a big contingent. I mean, this is one of those things where I was saying with Joe earlier. This is a big risk for us. This is a big investment, and we have limited resources. So to come out here is a big risk, and I think based on everything that's happened, I think it was a big success. So.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we kind of didn't know what we were getting into. I know we've sent people out here for a few years now just to kind of get the lay of the land and kind of see where HETMA could work. In the ISE space and in the EMEA space, but I think that this was a complete top to bottom success this week. We found that there is a hunger for this type of organization in other countries, so we're looking forward to building that out and see where we can take it.
Absolutely. So, and part of the reason why this week has been a little hectic for HETMA having two separate booths is because of the EdTech Congress. What were your thoughts about us being an end user organization at a show like that?
It's a pedagogy-based show, similar to EDUCAUSE. I think it's always been that. Unlike EDUCAUSE, where you did have a lot of Pro AV at one point, it's always been that pedagogical, learning-based design type show. It didn't really have a lot of room for Pro AV. I think the only vendor there for Pro AV was Epson.
Yeah. Yep.
They had a big booth, a large presence, and that's great. But that's not the kind of show that we're used to. That said, man, they were so receptive, and that it seems like a big win there.
Yeah, same. It was one of the questions that I kept getting asked was, "What are you selling? Like, what are you? We don't sell anything. We're here for community." And it took a minute for that to process through. They're like, you're here exhibiting, but you're not selling. But once we explained what it was, it made sense to them. So
I feel like for next year, I need to figure out how the Spanish phrase for we sell vibes. Because really, that I feel like that kind of almost summed it up, because we have something just going on that is you cannot quantify it, you can't put a finger on it. But
everybody that came by was like, you all just look like fun. This looks like just fun. Like, yes, that's what we do. We're celebrating something. I don't know what we're celebrating.
Louis Vuitton guy.
Oh, Louis Vuitton guy came by. Okay.
Amazing. But of course, we're a squirrel. But we, I know I had a point that I was going to get to, and it'll come to me eventually.
I wonder if he gets good family discounts.
Those luxury brands, they have very specific rules about like how they get discounts and stuff like that.
Sorry, thought popped in my head. Sorry, squirrel.
He joined HETMA, if I'm not mistaken.
Amazing.
I believe he did. Yeah.
I love that. So. And that's the thing. HETMA is for everybody.
That's right.
HETMA's for the children.
HETMA's for the children.
All right, that's going on a sticker.
That should. That's a pin. That's a pin.
It's definitely something.
Yes. But being at the EdTech Congress, it was a little different, because at least at ISE, it is considered an international show, and so a lot of times, basically, the accepted language is English. Like, it is kind of pretty much expected that everybody who is here is going to be speaking English. Whereas at the EdTech Congress, it is a very Spanish-based show. So the expectation is that you will be speaking Spanish. And so when I gave my little presentation about what HETMA is, I was like, I apologize, I will be speaking in English. And absolutely, some people stood up and walked away, but but for the most part, like, people did end up coming in and listening, so hopefully some things kind of resonated with people, or they understood what we were trying to accomplish there. But I think it's going to be, obviously right now we won't know until we get home and we kind of look at the numbers and look at the badge scans and see what exactly, how, the ROI on this, like how big it is. Like, we absolutely, it was worth it. Everything we've done here, absolutely 100% worth it. Like, but we won't really know in certain aspects. But because we had two separate booths and we kind of split our time in two different directions, that allowed for, like, so we look at our ISE badge scan numbers and stuff like that, and we're like, we did good. But then when you think about, we are adding on the EdTech Congress numbers, and we more than doubled the number of badge scans we did last year here at ISE.
Absolutely.
So that in and of itself is, like, I think it speaks volumes to the organization and what we're trying to do. And I am super excited to see, like, when we get back and we send out the communication and things like that, and really get things going, how it's going to all shake out, and how much the community is going to kind of like have this little vibrant uptick.
Absolutely.
All right, so it's not, it wouldn't be a EdTech episode without discussing it in an article. And typically at an ISE show, that we just talk about the tech and we talk about what we saw here and stuff. But this time around is a little bit unique, because right before we came out here, there was an article, AV Magazine on avinteractive.com. Are educational institutions wasting their money on AV? And this article was also discussed on AV Week. and created a little bit of a stir. A lot of us, when we saw this, there were emotions that were had,
yeah.
and and I was like, oh, I'm not missing out on this opportunity, because I figured if I was doing this episode, it would potentially get missed, because by the time we record the next EdTech episode, this would be old news,
right,
and we'd be on to the next thing. So I was like, we needed to take this opportunity to have a little chat about what this gentleman had to say about AV in education. So, all right. So, Troy, I know you definitely had opinions.
Yeah, so we decided to kind of respond to it too, and that's that's where a lot of my opinions come out. And I think I encourage everyone to read it through AVNation. But really, I mean, frankly, I couldn't just disagree more with what this guy says. Everything he laid out is just wrong. There's no other way to put it.
Right, like it was kind of one of those things that like when was the last time he stood in an actual university or college? And I mean, it may be in the region that he supports or whatnot. I mean, maybe it's a different story, and maybe those schools, that is why HETMA exists. Like, they could use our help in like getting them to like a better standard. But yeah, it's like what?
Yeah, I mean, to me, if I'm an integrator and I come across a bunch of education people who are having those problems, I don't write about it. Yeah. I work with them to fix the problem.
I mean, it was one of the most patronizing things I think I've read in a really long time. It took me back to when I was first really getting started in higher ed AV, and I had an integrator basically come say, do you all even really know what you're doing? And we're like, yes, we do. He's like, are you sure you, like, it was just very talked down to, which was insulting, considering the fact I know the number of hours and the amount of training and the amount of effort that my team and other teams put into making sure that we have responsibly built spaces. That it just, my jaw hit the floor, and when I was able to finally pick it back up, I was like, what year did this come out at? Yeah. So
I'm part of me wonders if this article is, I mean, he does call out universities, but in some of these things may be true more at the like K-12 region, and some of the factors that he points out is limited technical knowledge at the decision-making level. And so maybe for some schools, the decision-making level is higher than maybe where we sit. But I feel like, I mean, really, in real world, we are the decision makers. We pass up for approval and whatnot. But
I mean, even if you're making that final financial decision, like at a CFO level or business director level, at some point it has gone through a technical review, and someone at the technical management level will have gone to that upper level to say, hey, here's what we need, why, and this is what. Sorry, I got distracted by Ryan. Here's what we need, and this is why we need it. It's our job to speak tech to people that don't speak tech, to be able to put it in layman's terms.
Yeah. Well, in the use it or lose it funding pressure, I feel like we're not buying unnecessary things because we're afraid of losing it.
Well, I mean, even if there is a use it or lose it situation, I've got 10 plans in my back pocket where if I get an unexpected sudden rush of money, I know that I've got X, Y, and Z that I need to address. I can't get it this budget cycle, but I do actually have some extra money. I can't address it. It's not like I'm going, oh crap, I need to spend $50,000. Let me just jump on CDW and see what I can buy. We don't do that.
Right, yeah. Or you're suddenly like, I'm just going to buy a big hologram box.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, we may know. Yeah, I mean, we may know somebody who has done that in the past.
No,
but,
we would never know a certain individual wearing a green tie. That would be stuff like that.
Matching pants.
And the matching
pants. Yes. And this one also is lack of cross-department communication.
I mean, absurd. When I have a new pilot for something, I'm inviting all the faculty to come test those things. I work in a somewhat siloed university, and I have great relationships with the other peers in the AV departments at the med school and the law school. I don't see how that's the case. And I mean, on this one, I don't see how that's the case. All my family is in K-12 education. I don't see how that's the case there either. It's somebody who hasn't seen the inside of a school in a long time who thinks that.
Yeah, I feel like if this article was written maybe 10 years ago,
maybe an argument to be had.
Right, exactly. But yeah, we can't do a project without all of the collaboration with the other departments and teams, especially networking.
Networking facilities. I mean, how am I supposed to power the device?
You have to have the infrastructure. Exactly. So it's what are inadequate training for educators? We send out every semester before the semester starts. We send out an email with an update of these are the rooms that have some sort of change to them. Please reach out to the team to get training on how to use the space. But we also have we kind of train the trainers too. We work with our instructional design teams to make sure that they know what's in the room, so that when they're discussing pedagogy with the instructors, they know how to use the rooms, and they can help the instructors use that technology. And then they will inform us of what then they want.
Yeah.
I think one of the most important things that I did at Northwestern when I got there was create relationships, stronger relationship with the instructional designers and the LMS team. And now, every time the LMS team goes out to do a training on whatever pedagogy, whatever they're training, I've got one of my people sitting in there to answer technical questions, and vice versa. We do group trainings at the start of every school year, and then we do individualized trainings on request at any time. And whenever we do those group trainings, we got somebody from the LMS team, we got somebody from the instructional design team to help answer those questions.
So now we get into as we kind of read through this article. Now we get to the point that I do agree with this part of what we need to leave behind in legacy AV systems. AV carts full of bulky hardware, bulb-based projectors, devices with VGA, DVDs, VCRs, Blu-rays, equipment that cannot be monitored or managed via IP. Well, no, duh.
We've been doing that for years.
I haven't had any of that stuff for 10 years. What are we even talking about?
I can't remember.
But
I can't remember the last time I even saw a VGA connection on my campus, and we started pulling Blu-ray players out of our design a couple of years ago. I mean, it's not...
It is only in a couple of specialized spaces that we still have VGA, and it's only because their research...
Yes. Yeah.
That have specific pieces of equipment that they're we're not buying this
$10 million mic.
Exactly. They're until this thing dies, VGA it is.
I can't. I've still got Laserdisc players in a couple of school of music classrooms because of the content that's played. The license hasn't transferred to other forms of media yet. But again, I know my ecosphere. I know who my users are. So if the layperson came in and said, "Why do you still have a Blu-ray or a Laserdisc player?"
Yeah.
Well, there is a specific reason for it.
Exactly. And then he goes on to talk about accessibility, neurodiversity, and classroom equity. Well, that is. I sat on a panel while I was here at ISE that talked about accessibility in classrooms. So these are things that we are doing. Yes, flexible workspaces, compatibility with assistive software, interactive options, headphone availability. Sometimes, that one is a little more difficult because the check-in, check-out thing is not there. We try to work more with technologies that include devices that our students already have, so they don't need to have that extra thing, and helping to drop that stigma and allow for the fact that they don't need to have a separate accommodation for
Right.
some of these things. They just are part of the room. But yeah, adjustable visual and auditory environments. Yeah, I mean, yes, I absolutely agree with him. We need to be doing these things. If you're not, like, what are you doing? But it's so there, yeah. So some of the things that he talks about, it's blind spots. We're already talking about AI on our campuses. We're already dealing with data security, infrastructure strains. Yeah. Like these are all things, but we're already doing and like taking care of.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, I agree with them, but like they need to be done, but we're already doing them. So don't talk to me. Don't tell me. Like, don't.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, if this had been written 10, 12 years ago, good arguments to be had. But this just read as very ill-informed,
Condescending.
condescending, and like it was being written from the perspective of, I'm going to try to catch a CIO's attention and have them call me so I can come in and tell them what their teams are doing wrong. That's really the way that it came off.
I mean, yes, this Zoran, maybe he was just trying to be a provocateur. Like maybe he was trying to egg us on.
I mean, like they said, it's very clickbait.
Mission accepted.
So he accomplished his mission.
Absolutely.
The only thing he accomplished in my mind is making me not want to work with that integrator.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, exactly, and it sounds like, I mean, based on some of the comments, it looks like that we are not the only ones.
No. Or I mean, it's also it's a good opportunity for this his company and for him to maybe go, oh, we missed the mark on this. We need to take a step back and maybe look and learn how modern AV teams are running their spaces.
And HETMA would be glad to have that conversation with you.
No, I mean, those are the kinds of things that this organization really, like, it is all about. Education, spreading the word, collaboration. Like, we're doing all of the things to try to make the situation at colleges and universities better. And yeah. Sorry. Well, before we kind of land this plane, are there any other last thoughts about the show, about the article, about anything that's going on this week?
Yeah, I mean, I just thanks to the wonderful city of Barcelona for hosting. Thanks to Mike Blackman, Dave Labuscus, and I don't know who leads CEDIA, but thanks to them too. For putting the show on, and just we look forward to coming back next year and meeting so many more of the wonderful folks in EMEA.
Yeah. Very big thanks to the entire ISE team for putting on a fantastic show, for all of the exhibitors for going all out to welcome our communities to come in and learn more about the technologies they need, and looking forward to getting back and starting to ramp up plans for InfoComm.
Absolutely. I kind of was hoping that we would time this in a way that we would have gotten word of what the final numbers were for this show.
Michael came and said it was looking like it was trending above 90K.
Okay, so I think that is record breaking. Maybe not 100,000, but it is record breaking at least. Hi, JP. But so fantastic show all around, and I think the HETMA team here has been amazing, and I want to put this out into the whole universe that our crew that came here are a fantastic group of dedicated volunteers, the plus ones that came out to help us. I mean, it was yes, they got to see some stuff, but it was not a vacation for them either. So I really appreciate all of the time and effort that everybody has put into being here and making this all happen for us. Because, while we're busy talking to everybody and kind of spreading the gospel that is HETMA, there are things that need to get done too, like those badge scans and things like that we don't necessarily can think about while we're talking, while we're giving our elevator pitch. Like we're not like, oh, let me do the big. So I absolutely appreciate everything that they have done, and all of the board and chair members that have joined us here. They were absolutely fantastic. I appreciate everything that you all have done to make this such a great event, and I am looking forward to sleeping.
Yes.
But yeah, so before we wrap this up, Troy, how can people get in touch with you after this episode airs if they want to chat?
Yeah, so troy.powers@northwestern.edu, vice chair at HETMA.org. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Twitter. Just reach out. Happy to chat.
And how about you, BC?
Yeah, bc.hatchett@vanderbilt.edu or bc.hatchett@hetma.org. You can also find me on, Twitter, X? We fully migrated yet. You can find me on there at BC Hatchett, and then also on LinkedIn.
Fantastic. And as for me, you can find me on LinkedIn, on the HETMA community, and you can find me monthly on the EDTech podcast and on AVNation.tv. You can also find a host of other fantastic podcasts that are part of the AVNation family, like AV Mastermind, State of Control, and AV Week. So thank you. Until next time, see you later.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
This is AV.
This
is AV Nation.
This is AV Nation.